In this video, I will show you all the important buttons and components in this particular camera, Canon G7X Mark II. So this is the screen, display screen, and you can just turn it like this. So when you are sitting on that side of the camera, you can see what is being shown on the display screen. Over here we have got this on and off buttons, so you can just turn it on or turn it off like this. This is the shutter button. Also, it can be used to focus on the subject as well. So if you half press it, then it will try to focus on the subjects, and if you fully press it, then photo will be taken. And in here we have got this particular button. So if you rotate it left or right, what happens is that the focal length changes. So I'm just gonna show you. So you can see that over here, basically zoom in is happening over there using this particular setting. The focal length also changes. The next one is this one is mode dialog. So you can switch from this manual mode, aperture priority mode, shutter priority mode, movie mode, program mode. So there are different types of modes. You can just rotate it and then camera will change the mode based upon what selection you have done. So basically what you have to do is that there is a white mark, right? So you have to align this white mark with the mode. So if you want to put it in manual, so just rotate and make sure that this M is aligned with white mark. So that means right now in the manual mode, and it on the display screen also it is showing this M. That means we are in manual mode. Down here there is another dial, bigger dial, which is called as exposure compensation dialog, and that is used to change the exposure settings. So right now the exposure is set at 0. You can see over here we are in the aperture priority mode, and if I just want to increase the exposure, I can just rotate it like that, and you can see that image is getting brighter. And same way, if I want to decrease the exposure, I can rotate this dialog. So that is how you can change the exposure using this exposure compensation dialog, and it works only in certain modes. So if it is not working in say specific mode, then don't get confused. So for example, if I put the camera in the auto mode, the exposure compensation dialog may not work because everything is managed automatically. So you can see that everything is disabled over here, because in auto mode everything is managed by the camera itself, the exposure settings and everything. So this ring function is basically used to tell like what should the ring do. Like we have got the ring here, and we can tell camera to do different things based upon that setting. So if I rotate the ring, some values will be changed. So what values will be changed, we can set it from here. So just click here, and then right now we have set it to AV. That means if I change this particular ring, aperture value will be changed. So I change this, and you can see that aperture value is changing. But let us say I want to change the shutter speed after changing this ring. So if I go here, I'm going to select the shutter speed. Then what will happen is that instead of aperture, shutter speed will be changed if I rotate this ring. So you can see that this time around the shutter speed is changing. So that is the significance of this ring function. Basically we can tell camera what should be the function of this ring. Okay. The next one, this red dot, it is basically is used to start the recording. So you can see that now the recording is started, and at the top it is showing since how long the recording has been started. So right now it is at 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, like that. You can also click on this star to lock the exposure and focus, and it is also showing we are in the autofocus mode, and exposure is also being shown down here. To stop the recording, you can press this dot, and the recording is done. So you can see here the delete button is also being shown. So this ring function, this button works differently. So if I in the preview mode, and if you want to delete anything, so just go here and then click on ring function. So basically it will erase this. So this particular button has got dual functionality. And then we have got this preview button down here. This is for the previewing the images. So you can just scroll through like this. Okay. And we have got this menu. So with the menu you can change the different camera settings like here. So there are several settings. I'll be covering each of these settings later on. So right now just remember that this menu function on this button will be taken to the menu configuration. Come back to the main screen, just half press the shutter button and you will be taken to the main screen. And down here we have got this dial. So this dial has got different types of settings. So if I scroll it, for example, right now it is acting as the aperture value changing. So if I scroll it, aperture is changing. And this quick setup basically will get this screen. You can also go here by clicking on this Q. Okay, so there are two ways in which you can go to the quick setup. Then there is info. So basically, if you are in a preview mode, if you want to get the details of this particular photo, for example, ISO setting, aperture setting, shutter speed, etc., just click on this info and then it will show the information about this particular photo. Okay, so there's symbol over here is for the flash. So if you want to enable disable the flash, you can use this particular button. Over here we have got this manual focus, autofocus setting, normal or the macro. So you can put this camera into this particular modes: normal, macro for shooting close objects, normal is for shooting near and far objects, and manual focus. So if you want to change the focus, you can use this. In the down here we have got this opening where you can fit the tripod. Then there is a card and battery slot, so you can put the memory card and the battery over here. So you can open it just by sliding it like this. Over here we have got this Wi-Fi symbol and HDMI ports and USB ports. So if you want to connect the camera with the TV or the HDMI port, you can use this one. So this is the mini HDMI port and this is the USB. So you can connect to the USB port and then get all your data photos into your laptop. Or here we have got this for the Wi-Fi, and over here we have got this flash button. So if I push it down, flash will be open, and if you want to close it, just push it down. And over here we have got this Canon zoom lens with 4.2x zoom level, image stabilization, and here they have given focal length. So focal length is 8.8 to 36.8 mm. So that is why it is called a zoom lens. The focal length keeps on changing based upon your selection, and also it is showing this aperture value as well. So based upon this particular focal length, so what focal length you have selected, there will be some range of the aperture that you can choose. Okay, so if I just press this button, so you can see the lens is getting closed and open like this. So this is the ring I told you earlier, the ring function, and we have got this particular button. So the main purpose of this button is that how the ring operates. So if you want to operate the ring step by step, then you can change this setting. Or if you want like smooth rotation, so this particular button is useful to that setting. I think that's it. If you have more questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.